block is hot, 400 degrees G. Check the temperature, respect is what we need. Ease up, freeze up, you get left where you bleed. G's up, we got next to these streets. Damn, I'm really out here waiting on a clip emoji. Long nose, so I call the fifth Ginobili.
Guys, welcome back to Faded Truth. Today I have another beautiful cast member of the upcoming movie Bully the Dead Don't Die, set to premiere this fall of 2020. And today I have Stephanie on the show, also known as Bugz.
Look, Rico, I took this on because you said that this was a sure shot.
And you know,
No, I don't need no heat coming this way.
I know, and I appreciate everything you do. You know I do.
Money Bugz, I should say, is laundering money for Rico and Valentine. He's warning her about something, and she's getting a little apprehensive, like, wait, hold on, like, you know, I did this to help you out or to look out or whatever because we go way back, but I told you I don't want no bullshit, you know?
So, do you like Rico?
You picked... So this is how you gonna do? You're not gonna ease your way in. You just gonna go straight.
Because I saw that slick look at the end, like because he's like, you know, babe, I got you. You're like,
Oh man. So okay, in a lot of ways, I feel like Bugz is like me. I'm used to like watching sports and boxing and playing football and everything or whatever with the guys. So I've always been that kind of cool, relatable, around the way girl or whatever the case.
Okay.
Is. So I think that Bugz and Rico kind of had that kind of set up a situation at first. So I think at some point she was expecting for him, like, see me, she wanted more. Oh.
Cheers to your pimp cup.
Mm-hmm. My homegirl, Shanta, she made this for me. I think like last year or something like that. I love it.
It matches your whole decor. I like the purple. That's my favorite color.
Same.
Looks royal.
Yeah. Come on, somebody. Okay. Yes. You finna put something in the air.
Throw it in the
air.
Hey,
I'm
throw
not
it in
mad
the air. You said you didn't sign up for this, so now they're getting you into some bullshit.
Like Rico is letting her know that like, some heat is coming down on us or what have you.
Right.
He's warning her that shit is about to get thick. And she's kind of like, wait, hold on. I'm doing this as a favor, but this is my legitimate business.
Right. What does she do legitimately?
She owns the auto shop, the auto repair shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So I saw another scene, one where you get the bag over your head.
Oh.
Right? So that's where I first saw you, and I was like, oh, I got to talk to this girl because she's getting fucking robbed and shit or kidnapped, like whatever.
Right.
So what's going on in that scene?
Slaying them, easy get to slaying them.
Bugz, she confronts Rico. She's realizing his true identity and what he does for a living, and she's like, how you play me like that? Like, we go way back. He's implicated, and she's a part of it now because she's been working with him laundering money for so long. And I guess her mindset is kind of like, even if this is what you do, why would you involve me? And she storms out of the apartment upset. He's trying to explain. And as she's storming out, there's like some mobsters coming up and they throw the bag over her head. And
you screaming because you were like fucking going off, and then it's just like boom.
Right. It's like, wait, what the hell? Alex, he's so sinister because he didn't tell me. He's so sinister. But I love it. I love it because like he kind of talked to me before the scene. I had the script already, but he's one of those people that his mind is working right there on the spot, which I totally love.
Wait, so did you know that you were going to get the bag over your head, or was that a shock?
I didn't know. He said that I was going to get grabbed up or something like that, or what have you. And then like right there on the spot is when he just was like, yo, this is what we're going to do. And he's like, you with it? You game? And I'm like, yeah, let's get the shot. Let's go. There's no real way that you can prepare for that either. I
feel like I would have just like fell or something real quick, like tried to like come out the bag, like.
And my actions were real. Like when I'm kicking and yelling and screaming, I'm really like, oh shit. So homie was really strong to be able to handle me like that,
So what's your biggest character difference between you and Bugz?
Like she's team too much, trying to do too much. Because she wants Rico to see her a certain way. She's hoping, I guess, at some point that the relationship will turn into more than just some homie kind of situation. That's not my vibe at all. Like, you don't have to see the queen that is here and come with it. Yeah, no. No.
I'm not chasing nobody. Ain't no subtle hints in this motherfucker.
Not even my liquor. How about that?
So, who's your favorite character in Bully?
Is it okay if I have more than one?
Mhm.
I love Sosa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. I remember when we were at the table read, and it's like the believability, like the energy sitting next to him, and he's reading, and I know he's reading for a character, and I'm like, oh, like he's really with the shits. Like I loved it. And I don't remember his name but his name is Jose Eduardo Ramos. Baby.
Santos.
Baby.
You hear that?
Joke.
Sosa
Oh
and
my
Santos.
God.
You hear that?
No.
I know you
joke.
watch it. So, what's your favorite scene, do you think?
The chess scene. I like, you know what? Because I understand it for what it is. It's a literal and it's a figurative thing. So I love the chess scene.
With Rico and Tansy?
Yes, I love that. I love it.
Don't believe everything you hear. Here's what's crazy to me. You castled your king to protect it from my queen, only to get pinned by my knight. It's unfortunate that a officer such as yourself with such great potential won't even see me or my people coming.
Sure. We need to do this again sometime.
Maybe I'll take you up on that. Have a good court day. If you're not dead.
So, when's the first time that you got into acting? I know at a young age you were reciting Eddie
I
Murphy.
used to recite the whole thing of Delirious and Raw, go to school and just like act a fool. I can't remember a time that I wasn't interested in acting, to be perfectly honest. I went to high school for performing arts. It was called Talent Unlimited in Manhattan. There were people in there who played instruments, who sang, who danced, actors. It was just talent at wall to wall. You come out of the classroom, somebody's in the hallway busting out a dance, a monologue, anything.
Can you recite me your favorite Eddie Murphy joke?
Oh, shit. Damn. I can't, I'm going to mess it up. But he was talking about, like, he was saying, like, every man cheats. Every man, he said, it's some guys in the audience sitting there with a lady right now looking like, hey, Ed, would you shut the fuck up?
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, the jokes is funny and everything, but damn, shut the fuck up. There's a faithful man in the audience, clap your hands. And he says, like, the woman turned around and look at her man, and he's like, ain't you gonna put your hands together? You better clap for this pussy. Stand up and clap. Stand your ass up and clap. Yeah.
So, you have 3 boys, right?
Yeah.
Are they all black? Are they mixed?
My 2 oldest sons are black and Hispanic. My youngest son is not.
So do you feel that you have to tell them different things now with the whole movement that's going on and everything? Like, do you have to tell them how to act, or did you already kind of present that to them growing up?
Yeah, I've been talking to them about this type of thing from they were like really, really young. My sons are 7 years apart, all 3 of them. So I had to do it, at different times or what have you. I'm now talking to my 7-year-old about things. And of course, it's different. When we were younger, we learned everything from the news. These kids have the internet and access to everything right at their thumbs. So sometimes he's coming to me with situations and I'm put in that awkward situation where like now I have to explain something to him that his mind not be ready to fully receive. I talked to my sons about possibly being like apprehended by the cops. And I remember with my oldest son, vividly, I went to talk to him about how to respond to the police if he was ever stopped. And he's like, oh, they already stopped me. And at the time, I think he was 14, 15, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm like, seriously? Like, you've never told me anything about that. And he said, yeah, they told me that I looked too old to be using a school bus pass. And they like hemmed me up and checked my pockets. And it's like, I lost it. What do you say? Do you tell them to comply? I've seen a lot of people comply. I've seen people with their hands up. I've seen people on the ground and their fate still ends up a lot of different ways. Some people don't make it home. Sometimes tell them to run, fight back, comply. You really don't know.
Most of the time, they're going to have to comply to even have a fighting chance.
Right.
So it's like, you want to come back home to me, you have to fucking bite your tongue. And it's like, I can't even do that. I hate it. So it's just really fucked up world. But I feel like growing up in raising kids in this. I would be super scared as a mom. So I'm giving you props for that because
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's tough as hell. Me and my kids, my sons, we've been super active. While my son started marching with me back with Trayvon Martin, when they had like a rally for Mike Brown, my kids were with me. They had a rally for Colin Kaepernick. They were there. Then more recent with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. We've always been very, very active, always.
What's the definition for you for an actrivist? Because I know Tansy is an artivist.
Yeah.
So did you guys come up with this together or?
No, not at all. Like when I saw hers, I said, damn, that's dope. I wish I had thought of that first. Like, of course, I consider myself an actress, but also an actrivist, where it's like I just merged the words because I think, who is this? Nina Simone, one of my heroines. As an artist, she feels that it's our responsibility to reflect the times that we're in. Sometimes some people, they may not want to hear a lecture or what have you, but if you put it in a song or if it's in a movie or something like that or whatever, people will receive it better. So I always try to incorporate things that I feel about, things that I think people want to see with things that people need to see. It's like hiding the medicine in the candy, for lack of a better term.
I know you were working with kids with disabilities and in group homes and stuff. So how'd you get into that?
I was working with people who had various developmental disabilities ranging from autism, Down syndrome. They were adults, but some of them had like mine, like children. And at first I was working in the group homes as like a support staff, helping them with ADLs, taking them out shopping, going on trips, things like that or what have you. And then I started working in the rehabilitation center, and we started this program called Dancing with the Staff. You remember the show Dancing with the Stars?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like one of our participants and a staff member every week would have like a dance off. We had outfits and all of that type of stuff or what have you, where we organize it and we're doing different shows because this is what I'm passionate about. So I started doing shows with the participants for their family members and stuff like that. And these are things that a lot of the family members, because they have like a diagnosis or a label, they think they're incapable and that they're not able to do certain things. And it's like, no, anybody can learn and anybody can grow. They may not be able to do it to the same capacity as other people, but they still can. From that, there was another one of my staff members, and she was like, you know, I'm putting on this play. It's going to be in Harlem. I want you to come out and audition or what have you. And I'm like, dang, I haven't acted in so long. It's been a long time. And I kind of moved away from it because I'm a single mother. I'm raising children. I don't have time like for a hobby. But she wouldn't let up. She kept on. And I'm like, okay. After a while, I was like, this is a sign because I'm not chasing it. It's literally chasing me.
Right.
So I'm like, let me go forth and go to it or what have you. It was hell, like getting to the audition and everything. And then I booked the part. And from there, it's like the acting bug like was reignited in me. And it was like full steam ahead since then.
Wow. And what was that role? Was that an Off Broadway or no?
Yes, that was Off Broadway. The name of that play was called Where Are All the Good Black Men?
Where they at though?
I mean, you know.
Hey. What is the Carnival Girls?
It's an all-female production team. We write, we do our own stage and our props, and we put on plays in the city, like mostly like in the East Village.
Oh,
I've been
wow.
with Carnival Girls now for I think 2-3 years possibly, and I did like a big play called The Werewolf of Washington Heights, and I played Afro-Latina. I was a Dominican woman, an immigrant, and I had a Jewish wife. It was bomb. It was bomb. I earned a nomination for Innovative Theater Awards.
Nice.
Yeah.
You said you had a Jewish wife?
Yeah, I had a Jewish wife and I played a Dominican woman.
Did you have to kiss her and stuff?
I did.
Was that weird for you?
It was. it was weird, you know, because director, her name is Charmaine. She was serious about the scene study and us really acting as if we were a married couple. So there were times in rehearsal and everything where her and I really had to, like, even outside of rehearsal, she wanted us to build a bond so that it would read that much better and translate that much better on the stage. I was very like protective of her and everything. And it was so weird the night that her actual husband came to the show.
He's like, damn, babe.
Right.
Thank you for the free show.
Right.
What do you think is the hardest part about acting?
I think I'm somewhat of a perfectionist. I want everything to come across perfect, you know, and sometimes art is not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be what you feel in the moment. It looks very, very easy, but then when you get in front of the camera and the light and this room full of people and everything or what have you, sometimes what you're doing doesn't translate well on camera, if that makes sense. It's like you watch it later and be like, dang, what the heck? I shouldn't have done that. I should have did this. I should have done that.
Right.
Or what have you. But yeah, and losing your inhibitions is not, you know, you have to like zone out and not care about what the other people in the room are thinking, what somebody is doing, what you can't, you have to lock in and really live and be in that moment. And I had to learn that like the hard way, block everybody else out and fully be into character and forget about all of that and like jump in, like really commit to the role. Yeah, somebody told me before, a bit of advice: if you don't feel foolish when you're doing a certain thing, you're not doing it right.
Do you have a ritual or like a special thing you do before you act or get on stage?
I need to lock in and try my best to like go into like a quiet place by myself. I don't do like the phone calls and the texts right before I'm about to jump into a character, because at that moment, like I'm not mommy, I'm not Stephanie. I am who I'm supposed to be in character. I want to fully get into that mindset. I pray and I meditate and the affirmations just flow. Because sometimes you got to gas yourself. You know, you got to tell yourself like, yo, I'm the shit. You got this. Go out there. Key. You can feel it like in your interaction and your energy and your vibration is lower when you're not doing those things, those self-care things.
Yeah. Like, kids, you know, I need my time.
Oh, they know. I'll put up the church finger real quick and I'm like, mommy need a mental health moment. And they know what time it is. I come in.
Mommy mental health moment.
Yes,
you should start a blog.
That's a good, you're right. I definitely should.
Let's talk about Amare.
That's like a really dope project that I worked on with Katiana and Jomo. They are a production team. It's called Slept On Creatives. I love that name. And they made a web series based on their relationship, them getting to know each other and working with each other and building with each other on a romantic level. So they wanted to put that out into the atmosphere as a web series. So they booked myself and this other actor's name is Jeremy Mitchell. And we play Kat and Jomo in this series called Amare. Look, y'all know how it is.
And then Liz is Fine.
That was one of the projects that I'm in that I wish I could see more of. It was a short film. It's about like social anxiety, being in places and you just not feeling the energy, you're not feeling the vibe, or, you know, there's days where you don't have a definition. I don't know why I'm sad. I don't know why I'm angry. I don't know why I'm depressed. I know I'm feeling a certain way and I really can't engage and I don't want to talk on the phone and I don't want to go out to eat. So the film was about someone who suffers from different levels of social anxiety and things she did to cope in this world and in New York City. She worked in a gynecologist's office. And I was one of her coworkers, and I was one of the more supportive coworkers where I noticed that maybe she was in crisis.
What's remote control?
Oh, let's get into it. Over quarantine 2020, I wrote a short film about my experience quarantining.
I promised my friend that I would say hello to you today. Hello? Hello? Please say hello to me. Please say hello to me.
Because everybody everybody's experience was different. Some people live in private houses, they got gated communities, estates, or what have you. And then there's people like myself who live in busy New York City in a huge apartment building where there's really no such thing as social distancing. You know, we all have to use the elevator, the incinerators, we all touching the same doorknobs or what have you, and we are pretty much the epitome of people who live on top of one another. It was also the social distancing with my sons, and it's like I have to be on top of my oldest son. You got to stay in the house, you got to this, you know, what have you. And the kids, they didn't understand what was going on. Even as an adult, I didn't even understand fully what was going on. People, the media that we were getting the information from, they didn't know what the hell was going on.
Right.
So it was just like, what the heck? So I was like, you know, at this time, like, I want to be creative. I've always said that I wanted to produce my own content from my POV and things that I've experienced in my life, because everybody has a story to tell and everybody has an audience, you know? So I figured, you know what, I'm home, I'm working from home. This would be the perfect time to write something, to put it together, just chronicling my day to day with my sons quarantining. I felt like that's what was taking place at that time, that we were being controlled remotely, you know, and ironically, the remote control is like this weapon or what have you. You turn on the TV and then you have access to all of this different information, or misinformation that I should say.
Are you writing an anthology on love and relationships, or did you already write it?
I already wrote it. It's one of those episodic shows where you don't have to start from season 1, or you don't have to start at episode 1, or like Black Mirror.
What happened was
right. So what had happened was, that's between me and my homegirl Passion. She is like super, super, super talented. She's an actress and a spoken word artist. We're two friends, you know, you call each other and it's like, yo, so what had happened was, and you're recounting what happened either in your day or in your week, but as you're recounting that, like the actual reenactment is happening. And you're getting the view as the audience of like what I'm saying, just a play by play. But it's one of those things where at first,
I got a lot of stories, girl. You're gonna have some animation. Let's do it.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. We all have like stories and stuff that's like, yo, I gotta put this out, or I gotta do something with this, or what have you, because who the hell would believe that shit like this actually happens?
What's your accomplishment that you're the most proud of in your career so far?
My short film, Remote Control. Like, I talked about wanting to do something. And not only did I talk about it, I put pen to paper and I actually wrote a script. And then I went and I packed out like Home Depot and Target, getting like aesthetically what I wanted. I got artwork for the walls and stuff like that, or what have you, because I wanted certain like pieces to jump out at the audience. I wanted it to speak to the audience. And then I actually shot it, and I did some voiceovers. And
what's your motto for yourself?
Man. Everything is perspective. Like, it's how you look at a thing and how you receive a thing that shapes your reality. Sometimes we feel like things are a certain way and we receive it that way, but that's not actually what it is. Like, more seeing the glass half full as opposed to half empty. So I'm big on like gratitude affirmations and being grateful even for my current situation. Even if I'm not particularly satisfied with it and I want more for myself, I learn to be grateful and to be a good steward over what I have currently. And that will open up the doors for more to come in. You know, if you, whatever little you're blessed with, you really appreciate that, and then you'll be blessed with more eventually. Yeah.
When you get to that point of being more blessed, it's like, yeah, I always have to stop and like tell myself, like, think about where you came from and then look at where you're at now, because my dreams are so much bigger than what I'm doing that I don't like take the time to be grateful for where I'm at. And I'm like, bitch, like, you would have been killing somebody for this life fucking 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
Like, let's just sit down and be humble and just chill and enjoy it, you know?
But we don't celebrate our wins, and sometimes we don't give ourselves our flowers. Sometimes we don't look in the mirror and be like, bitch, I'm proud of you. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. Like, you doing your thing. I remember you talked about this and now you're doing it or what have you, and I'm proud of you. Ooh.
Yeah, self-checks. Look, you got your soul going?
Yes. That just, like, I just felt that in my spirit. Like,
yes.
Something there, sis. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah.
Oh, you can sing too?
I mean, she do a little something. She do a little something.
So thank you so much for being on the show, Bugz. We're going to see you in the upcoming movie Bully the Dead Don't Die, dropping this fall.
Yes, ma'am.
Wild niggas in the squad that'll stab a few. You know what it is. Couple black mans, black gloves for the lid.